I didn't even come close to getting this one shared, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just now getting to the Twitter sharing. Happy Thanksgiving, though.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
Already getting started with the ABC.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yeah, as you should be as well. ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Make sure you get there for all of your Thanksgiving needs, which are plenty, I'm sure. Like, get the good stuff, too. We talked about that the other day. Because this weekend, you got, people, Wednesday's like a big Thanksgiving day, right?
Yeah, Friendsgiving. A lot of young people.
Is that what it is?
That's what
I thought that was week 4. Is tonight?
That's what somebody told me.
Because Mia used to love that.
Well, no, tonight is where the young people go. Like, this is the night everybody comes back in town, and you go out. So, like, I remember doing that heavily when I would go down to Cocoa with the family, and everybody would go hang out at Cocoa Beach, and it'd be a lot of folks.
Yeah, I was thinking about this because you got tonight, then you got tomorrow, which is Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got football games on Thanksgiving. But then Friday there's some good rivalry games,
mm-hmm.
and then you got Florida State, which if you're local, you should be going to Goodfellas to watch that with us at noon.
Mm-hmm.
That just got really interesting, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So you probably just need to go to ABC today. Stock up for the whole weekend. Yeah, because it's one of those weekends, man.
Like, if you don't get it now, you run the chance of stuff running out.
And then if you get the really cheap stuff, you're going to be hungover. You're not going to enjoy any of it. So you get the good stuff and hydrate. Water, which they also sell at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. So make sure you get there. You want to start with Florida State?
Yeah, sure.
Like, this is forget the coaching search for a second. Somebody told me that Garrett McGee is calling the plays.
Yes. I don't know what to believe. That's why that's the only reason. Not believe. Like, I don't know what to think. That's the only reason I'm saying yes.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know. Garrett McGee calling the plays is like, in a way, it almost feels like Emory. Well, he's not playing, I don't think. Is that for sure?
Right now, they said that Del Rio and Anthony were taking first team reps.
Okay.
As reported by fifth quarter.
Here's what I know is Anthony and Garrick have a great relationship. And Garrick McGee, the quarterback coach at Florida, loves Anthony and loves his skill set. And so that could work in that way. If Emory was playing with the amount of snaps he's taking, it essentially would have meant that Emory was calling the plays. Because, like, you get up to the line, you want to check out of it, what's going to happen?
Right.
Like,
fair.
You know what I mean? Like, at this point, you've seen enough football, you check out. And I think Kenny Dillingham was talking about that on your podcast, is they've started to allow more and more of that out of
George Travis.
Yeah. So, I think all of that is going to make for a really interesting game. I am completely here for Jordan Travis versus Anthony Richardson. That'll be fun. That will be that could be a high scoring game. Has y'all's defense been playing well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like right now, Kier Thomas and I think what's should be my 8 o'clock is Jermaine Johnson being snubbed for the Benerick. Now, like, they made the finalist list, and now that I think about it, put it in perspective, he wasn't going to win. The guy who deserves to win is the mutant at Georgia.
Yeah.
But like Kayvon Thibodeau, or however you say his name.
Is that just Lyman? D. Lyman?
Lombardi, not Lombardi. It's not Lombardi. What's the linebacker?
Buckus?
The Buckus is just linebackers, I thought.
Hey, I don't know.
I think Benerick is the defensive guy.
Because Georgia may sweep it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because that linebacker they got is nasty.
Right? Yeah, he actually, yes. I think this is defense. This is overall, because he's in it too. And he actually at linebacker leads the nation in quarterback pressures.
Yeah, no, he's the engine that makes them go.
Like, don't get me wrong, all of those guys are going to be high draft picks.
Yeah.
But per like production, like you should have the guy. I think he's leading in sacks or tied for it. He should be in it. And if Florida State was State was already bowl eligible, then you would probably see him.
Well, I saw somebody post something yesterday about Heisman odds. And I guess CJ Stroud is the odds-on favorite at this point.
Yeah, it's the Heisman has always been a crock. It's the best quarterback on the best team that normally.
I guess my point is, like, if you would have told me to set the Heisman odds, like, guess what they would have been, I don't think I could have. Like, there's not been that guy this year that you're just like, oh, that guy should win the Heisman.
I think when you go back and, like, it just depends on what you paid attention to. When you go back and you look at what CJ's done minus the rough part of the season, he's performed at a level that's high enough. But if any year, like Heisman Trophy, most dominant is what I thought. That's not what gets awarded,
right?
But what I thought was the most dominant player on the field in college football. I really knew it wasn't about that when Ndamukong Suh didn't win it.
Yeah.
And this has been the closest that we've seen to Ndamukong Suh's type of performance. Like, the guy is devastating.
And people have been talking about him on the Heisman all year. It's not like Ndamukong Suh really came out in the championship game. And the week before, like, that was
like those last weeks of the season.
But Jordan Davis has been doing this all year.
Yeah. So, like, and again, it's Nebraska where people laugh, if you're not in the South, it doesn't really matter. But when people started looking like, wait a minute, how does a nose tackle average a sack a game when he's getting doubled and triple team? Like, that shouldn't happen. But
all that going back to Florida State's defense, I
think Florida State has where their strength is the D line. They've got 3 good D linemen, really 4, but like 3 that you need to recognize where they're at. And their linebacker play has been a lot better. Amari Gainer's giving you another guy off the edge because they took him away from the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, they put a smaller linebacker from a weight perspective, faster and more aggressive in Kalen DeLoach. And Kalen DeLoach is playing crazy right now. Crazy instinctual, crazy physical. And granted, people are like, James, you just have a great relationship with his dad, Rob DeLoach. And I do. Kalen's like a little brother.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell the truth. Like, I knew he was going to be all right. I didn't know he was going to play like this. He literally at Boston College, it was perfect teach tape for what you want your linebacker to do. They're doing a toss sweep, pulling 2 guards, and the one guard has him flanked. He should have been blocked. He takes the guard and literally throws him into the running back.
Mm-hmm.
The guard turns around and makes the tackle on the running back. And I'm just like, at like 6'4", 220, like, he ain't, like, that's lanky. If this kid gets to 235, 240 and can keep his speed, it's gonna be bad. But where they're still weak at is that in the secondary still, because they haven't got that cohesiveness yet.
There's like this sense that I have, excuse me, about Saturday's game, where Florida is going to do the common sense thing, which is feed 15, feed Pierce.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the best thing,
which they haven't done the entire year. And I don't know. I just have this. I don't think Florida's defense is going to stop Florida State. Maybe I'm trying to be Mr. Positive on a negative year for basically everybody involved. I just think this is going to be a fun game to watch. I think it's going to be one of these, like, high scoring, crazy plays in a year where everybody's kind of discounting the game. It's going to be, not one for the ages from the sense of it means anything, but one for the ages from the sense of it's from start to finish, go, go, go.
I think it'll be, if for nothing else, it'll be like the Miami-Florida State game. If you watched it from end to end, like, it looked like it was going, well, I don't necessarily know if it looked like it's getting out of hand at any point, but that third, fourth quarter was very entertaining football. If you're not looking for the purest, cleanest type of football.
Right. Yep.
If you just like action,
it
was a really, really good game. And I think that's what you're going to see, because I know Florida's in this state of woe is me, and we're getting a new coach and our guys aren't any good. But I do believe in rankings to a certain extent. I do believe you have some really good guys on your defensive side of the ball. Yeah. I do believe you have some wide receivers that maybe, if given the opportunity, can get behind somebody. And you got a quarterback that you have to account for in the running game that has a strong enough arm to be able to get it to him. So that leaves your defense to have to play discipline. And Anthony Richardson is big enough to where, like, you can't just bring one guy's probably not going to bring him down.
Him.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the Boston College quarterback wasn't fast per se. He was just big as hell, and you couldn't really and strong, like a bit more like Big Ben.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're good. You're dealing with, for lack of a better, Cam.
Yeah.
And again, strong, but can actually
can beat an angle too.
Like if he gets a 5-yard run on you, like it's going to be a 15-yard, 20-yard gain minimum.
Yeah.
So like, how do you bottle that up? Now, the one good thing is that even though he's one of your leading receivers at Florida, your tight end, you don't have the tight end that you had.
No, gosh,
last
no.
year. So.
I mean, the receivers aren't going to scare anybody. I don't think. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to watching the game. It's also the reason why, like, I think back to that Kentucky game, and I remember Florida fans talking about the season's over. And you think about everything that's happened since Kentucky, like the season's never over in college football because of things like this, because of rivalry games, because of coaches firings, because of recruiting. It's like every single game that you play matters. You can talk about, Samford. Well, I mean, that may be the game that ultimately got Dan fired.
Samford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's every single game matters. Jacksonville State mattered in a big way for y'all.
Because just think about this season. Like most people were already going, like, you would have said, and I think most logical people were like, all right, 7 wins, 7-5 is your your reach for the regular season. You'll probably lose. You're going to lose to Miami, Florida, Clemson, Notre Dame, and then you're going to drop one of these other games. Well, if you beat Jacksonville State, you're already bowl eligible.
Yeah.
And now you're in a situation where you basically almost swept. Oh, North Carolina was the other school that everybody figured you'd lose to. You swept your regular season outside of Wake Forest.
Yep.
But you beat 2 teams that people didn't think you would beat. But had you probably played George Travis against Louisville, again, you beat Louisville, you beat Jacksonville State. Just think where you're at in terms of recruiting. Now, you're still good, and this is why every game matters, because now you beat Florida. People are going to always look at that Jacksonville State game, and they're going to be like, hey, okay, now it's more of an anomaly.
Right. No
but
doubt.
Now recruits can legitimately go into the room of a recruit and say, hey, you see what we're trying to do. If you're if you're Kenny or you're Mike, you go into I'm going to think it's Kevin Coleman out of St. Louis, 5-star wide receiver, between us, Oregon, and somebody else. And you say, hey, man, listen, I get it. I get why you want to go to Oregon. It's sexy. But, man, look, if we have you, like that pass that we dropped at Clemson, that post, like that's you.
Yeah.
We're a you away. And you can, and instead of a kid having to reach and really imagine, like they can kind of, okay, well, you beat a Miami team. But I think Florida, I say all that to say is I think Florida still has more talent on their roster than what Florida State has. And if they wake up and say, hey, we do kind of have something to play for, like this is a resume building thing.
Yeah.
And I think Florida State's really in for a dogfight.
Well, I think the thing for Florida State is if you can say that you ended the season at 6-1, that's
a hell of that's even
pretty
bigger.
Dang
yeah. 6-1 with 2 of those victories being over rivals that you haven't beaten.
Yep. Like that.
Jimbo,
because
Jimbo didn't play against Florida, but yeah, you haven't beaten them in 3 years, even though you only played Florida 2 of those 3 years. And the 2 in the losses would have been blowouts. So you've flipped it. You could definitely in state recruiting, you have something to. And whether
we talk about this all the time, logos still matter to some extent. Clemson's logo still matters. Florida's logo still matters. Florida State's logo still matters. Those wins matter, man. I mean, there's a kid, in Atlanta or St. Louis, to your point, that's going to have this game on, and he's going to see a packed stadium, and you can feel the intensity, you can feel the hatred. Like he'd rather watch that than the Egg Bowl. I'm telling you, because the logos are just better. So I don't know, man. I'm excited about the game. I think it's going to be entertaining. I think, it's a chance to take a deep breath if you're a Florida fan before you get into all the drama that's going to follow the next 7 days of coaches and recruiting and all that kind of stuff. Just enjoy this last one. And Dan's gone, so you don't have to worry about is he going to be fired. Like, just go have fun, tailgate. It's a rivalry game. Watch it at your house. Watch it at Goodfellas with us at noon, and just enjoy it. And the good thing is, if you lose, it's not like it costs you a whole lot.
Right. You are already
a few times that you can just have fun at this game.
You're already in a rebuild mode if you're Florida, and if you're at FSU, even if say like we say 6-1, 5-2.
That's what I was gonna say. Y'all answered. They answered the questions they already need.
The only thing that I think the only true way it really helps Florida State, besides when you're recruiting and now when your guys take their December visits, they can see bowl game practices. But you get another, you get 15 more practices. You basically get another spring.
Yeah.
With your younger guys, and that aids in the development. Especially in the practices locally. Now, when you get to the bowl site, you want to be able to get it's a game week. But like here local, like you could get your Tate Rodemakers or your Geno Englishes, guys like that who are your backups. You can get them some reps that you wouldn't normally be able to get them, which gets you better. Practice makes you better. And this is a different type of practice than
that's what
in spring because spring is regulated so much. Like you can only have so many padded practices. You can only have you got to be in shorts for 3 days. You got bowl prep is an extension of the season.
There is something to the last game this is the last game you're ever going to play with that group of guys. It sounds corny, but there's something to that. And bowls have gotten watered down because guys leave early and all that kind of stuff. But the last game, if you are Florida or Florida State, that you're ever going to play with a current group of guys where you played a consecutive season, meaning that you went from, in y'all's case, Notre Dame to Jacksonville State and so on. In Florida's case, I don't remember who the first game was, FAU, USF, whatever it was. Whatever. Right. That's it. It ends Saturday. And then you don't know what's going to happen if you get to a bowl game. You don't know who's going to play, who's not going to play, especially if you're Florida. So I just, and even from a coaching perspective, in both programs, there's going to be coach turnover somewhere. Mm-hmm. I just think it means more. It is a little sentimental, and I think guys, want to take that last game because even though I got on to Mullen for saying it last year, the bowls really don't mean anything. The game itself really doesn't mean anything to these brand logos. The prep may, but the game doesn't.
I think the biggest thing is the prep and the experience of the kid. We've become, and I said this, I knew this when I was in high school, and I say every 5 years, this is good and bad. What the NFL did shifts to college. What college did shifts to high school, and then so on and so on. The NFL is purely entertainment. It's a reason why your favorite college player didn't forget how to play football. They just don't fit in the entertainment brand of what the NFL is. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that the guys in the NFL aren't any good.
Right.
It just means that they're more entertaining than, let's say, a Peter Warrick, who was one of the most electric college football players to ever play. He just didn't fit what the NFL wanted him to do at that. Now, he'd probably be better now, but during that time, it didn't fit. I say that to say is that fans are taking the same approach.
Mm-hmm.
Because what do fans say every year after January? Oh man, I can't wait till football season.
Yeah,
I can't wait to this. But then what do they always say about bowl? Oh, it's too many bowl games. It's this. And no, for me as a guy who fell in love with college football, more so when I was getting recruited and playing high school, I remember how ESPN, and this is why I know people are influenced by the media more than they ever want to admit. I remember the jingle from bowl, it's the most wonderful week of the year, and they would go say all the different bowl games
and the mascot challenges.
Yeah, you're sitting there and you can watch football every day during your 2-week period, and there's nothing more. Like for Florida and Florida State, it's not as fair because we're in big conferences.
Yeah.
And we have TV deals. You could get seen nationwide or for a majority of the place year in and year out. But how I found out about Boise State was Thursday night football and these bowl games and them going out there. How you find out about Northwest Missouri
But
State.
it is a different time, bro.
But what I mean by this is, as a guy who, the only trips that I ever really took, I went to New Jersey for Christmas to go visit my mother's family. And I go to Cocoa. That was basically, I mean, I've been on a cruise, I've been on some other stuff, but as far as being traveled, and I can lie, even my bowl games at Florida State. But the point is that I got a chance to travel more than most inner city kids. A guy who's the guy from, I'm thinking about Leon, Washington, who was from the east side, out east in Jacksonville, who hadn't really been on many trips outside of his recruiting visit. He gets to go to New Orleans and experience New Orleans for the first time.
Yeah.
He gets to see a hand rolling cigar station and he learned that you're supposed to spit when you're chewing. He chewed the cigar. He didn't want to smoke it, but you're supposed to spit when you're chewing, and he didn't, and he swallowed and he passed out. It's these experiences that a lot of these guys are having away, and like I think, like if you're a Jacksonville fan, like Jacksonville City, the city of Jacksonville, or any city that hosts bowl games, you should love the bowl season, because if nothing else, there's a group of college educated professionals that are going to come on your city and they get to experience it for a week. Sometimes it works in your favor, even if they hate it. I hated every minute of the Gator Bowl. I thought it sucked. Like, it was terrible. They took us to Outback, man. I could go to Outback in Tallahassee, but I ended up living here. I got some experience of it. I did kind of like actually like where we were staying at downtown Jacksonville. But my point is that, like, when I went to Miami, I knew it was too much fun. I went to New Orleans, even though I went back, it was too much fun.
Yeah.
But these other small like Tampa, I would have loved to play, like, maybe if it was a January 1st bowl, but the Outback Bowl or Gasparilla Bowl, like those, I wouldn't mind playing in those now. And I guess it's different for Florida State fans because we play Florida home and away. Like, we don't have a classic. We don't have the world's largest cocktail party.
Yeah.
So a bowl, but for 40
That's
years.
That's a good point, because that is a bowl.
Yeah. So for 36 years straight, you could plan a family vacation or a trip around the holidays if you were a Florida State fan.
I don't think Florida State's going to end up here in Jacksonville based on what I heard yesterday.
I mean, I don't know. Where Tampa?
No, I was just listening to Greg McGarity, who's used to be the AD at Georgia.
Yeah.
And now he's the head of the Gator Bowl. And he was going through the scenarios and was just flat out asked, is there a chance that Florida State, the winner of this game, could be here? And he was like, it probably not. Probably not, because of the way that the conferences line up and how basically the conferences have to approve the bowl selection. And so it's like one of those things where he said it would be really tough. There'd have to be a crazy set of circumstances for either of those to happen.
That stinks.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. And it's not like the Gator Bowl not wanting them.
Right.
It's just the politics of the ADs in each conference and where they have to agree that they go in the pecking order that they go. Otherwise, and I can appreciate that, because otherwise you would just have the biggest brand every year jumping over 3 or 4 different schools that maybe had better years. You know what I mean? Like, nobody would ever want Pittsburgh. Something along those lines.
No, that's fair. And right now, Wake Forest has really messed up the integrity of the Atlantic Coast Conference. I can say that with full certainty. And people are like, what do you mean? Because they lost.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way we're going to the college football playoff now. So, like, the Orange Bowl is like, great.
Right.
We're more than likely going to get the winner of Wake Forest and Pittsburgh. That's exactly what when we drew this bad boy up, that's exactly what we were thinking.
Imagine that, though. Seriously, that's funny, because when y'all did the expansion in the ACC, it was, oh man, this is going to be dope, because you're going to have Miami, you're going to have Florida State, you're going to have Virginia Tech at that time, you're going to have Clemson. Like, these are brands that can compete with anybody as far as viewership and, in most cases, fans. And really, outside of Clemson, it has worked out to where it's been Wake Forest or Pittsburgh or something like that the majority of the time. And I do think it's hurt the conference.
It hasn't been a majority. It's been more than it needed to be. Because, like, they've done.
You put Clemson in there?
No, like, when they've actually done it, Clemson or Florida State has won the ACC championship the majority of the time.
I'm talking about the big bowls.
Oh, yeah.
The big bowls have ended up with.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
A highly academic basketball school a lot of times.
Yeah, it's like the teams that you want in your bowl are FSU, Clemson, Miami, probably in that order.
Yep.
Maybe no,
Clemson
no,
be ahead
Clemson
of Florida State right now.
And the reason why you want Pitt in those schools too, because Florida State fans, we don't travel until day of.
Well, there's not a bowl game like everybody else. You're spoiled.
Yeah, there's not a bowl game that's better than the climate that most of us are
from.
Like, and so when I played Penn State my senior year, holy crap! One, Joe Paterno did the. I don't know if I would have went with it. Actually, I guess I would have because I would have been from Florida, so it wouldn't have mattered. Like where they had their week of bowl prep, they stayed in Miami for 2 weeks. To get acclimated to the heat.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just them.
Their fans.
All the fans were there for 2 weeks. So we're there and like it's nothing but Penn State. When I was in the Sugar Bowl, the entire week we were there, people were barking at me. I didn't know if they were Omegas or Bulldog fans, but everyone like, hey man, chill out, bro. Because we have to wear you wear your uniform most of the time, and like you got these Bulldog fans just barking in your face, and you're like, hey man, you too close. But our fans, and we're like, where are our fans? And they show up, mosey on in there the day of or the day before the game. So but North Carolina is a school that I think wants to be really, really good.
And they were an option for the Gator Bowl as well. Speaking of bowl games, like the college football playoff right now, like this is a weird thing because if I go by past history, Auburn's probably going to play Alabama pretty good because when Auburn sucks leading up to that game is when they usually shock them, and Auburn's dropped 2 in a row and haven't been playing well like they were earlier in the year. Cincinnati's got a real chance, man. I know they were 4th in the rankings that came out last night, and everybody's like, oh, but those rankings don't mean anything. And for the most part, you're right. Yeah. But they've got a real chance here. If Alabama doesn't get in, meaning they either lose to Auburn or Georgia blows the doors off of
it doesn't even matter if they blow the doors off of them, man. Like I would, if Georgia beats them. Now, if Georgia loses, I still believe Georgia's one of the top 4 teams.
Yeah, no doubt.
If Georgia,
did you see the Georgia Tech spread?
No, it's probably 1 million.
Dude, you're not far off.
And I get it, right? For the past decade, maybe it's more. No, since 2007, 2008, Alabama's been the best team, best brand since then. But you're completely, the integrity is already off. But you can just tell me, Alabama has a bye for the season.
What are you saying? Are you saying that if they beat Auburn and then Georgia beats them by 2 touchdowns, you think they're still in?
They shouldn't be in. Like a 2 wins.
I don't think they are in.
I'm saying a 2 win. That's what I mean. Like that's what I'm saying. So like to me, Cincinnati, if they went out, there's not. I'm trying to look to see who's got a better resume than Cincinnati. They have so Notre Dame is the number 6 team.
Right.
They beat the number 6 team in the nation.
Yep.
On the road.
Yeah.
So they have a top 10. By that time, actually, they're top 5 win.
They have a head-to-head win over. Yeah.
Who's
5?
Michigan.
Michigan's about to get
blown out by Ohio State.
Yep.
Now, if Michigan beats Ohio State, then Ohio State doesn't deserve to be in there because they'll have 2 losses.
That's right.
And their loss.
So that'll take care of itself.
So yeah, it'll take care of itself. Now, Oklahoma State will have an argument, but I don't think they're one of the top 4 teams. It's just where they're at right now.
Cincinnati would beat the hell out of Oklahoma State.
I agree. It's just, I think this year it'll actually take care of itself, but I think Cincinnati should have never been in the position that they're in yet. Okay, their conference is weak. They play teams out of their conference that they beat handily.
Dude, the argument all the time is if you let one of those teams in, they're going to get blown out. Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think, well, they may, but they're going to be as competitive as anybody else would be against Georgia.
And that's also my point. It's some people kind of came in and they were just like, oh, well, I talked about Michigan State and why I don't want expansion of the playoff.
Oh, I definitely do. We are in disagreement.
Just make the bowl games more important. Like I don't like. Here's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see what I saw Ohio State versus Michigan State because Michigan State's going to be in there.
You'll watch
Oregon, or I'll watch any of the games.
But that's the point.
The problem. Like I don't need you to expand the playoff. If anything, I'd rather them go back down to the BCS.
I'm going to check in with you on bowl games this year.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna watch Michigan State when whoever they play. But I'll watch Ohio State.
I just
all right. Let me just ask you.
If it's got a quarterfinal and the winner advances and the loser goes home, I'm watching it.
I'm gonna tell you whose games I'm watching no matter what. If Michigan's playing in a bowl game, I'm gonna watch it. If Notre Dame's playing in it, I'm gonna watch it. If Oklahoma State's playing in it, I might watch it. Probably not. Baylor, don't really care. Ole Miss, because I like Lane Kiffin.
Listen,
Oklahoma, they consistently watch.
Time out. I'm calling BS because you'll watch it if you've got nothing else going on.
Okay, but do you know what I'm naming these teams? Do you know where they're ranked? They're top 12.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is they were already like those games more what I won't watch because this is what could happen. I'm not watching BYU in a college football playoff. They're 13. When Michigan State loses,
listen,
or when somebody they would sneak into this top 12.
Disrespectfully when I tell you this.
Texas A&M I would watch.
I really don't mean this disrespectfully when I tell you this. But if the word quarterfinal was on that, you would watch it, even if it's BYU.
So, let me tell so right now, this is a team that if they were in this, that I believe could sneak in and make it to the final. And this is, people don't think I like this guy, but this is the truth. Texas A&M, you know how many losses they have?
2, right?
3. I don't want to see a 3-loss team in a playoff.
I don't see, and this is just a difference. I can't understand when people say I don't want to expand to playoff. Like I can't even begin to get on the same page because you don't have to watch the game. Just like you don't have to watch the bowl game. But there's a large majority of this country that will watch it if it's part of a playoff. It's no different than March Madness.
But what I'm saying is that's the same idea.
I don't watch.
So that's the same mentality that people have. That's why we have too many bowl games.
When was the last time you watched George Mason in a regular season game?
But that's what I'm saying. Like we have
in basketball.
We have too many. Like basketball is different because it's only 5 people on the court. And if you get really, really hot, you could get it's why we love the Cinderella story. Cinderella don't happen in football that often.
Bro, it happens almost every year right now.
Once there's 120 Division I teams.
You wouldn't have watched UCF Alabama a couple years ago?
I would have watched that, but you know why I would have watched that? I wouldn't have needed to have 12 teams. UCF would have been in the normal playoff. Or no, they were just outside of it.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I mean, you would have watched Boise State back in the day if they made it. You know, Cincinnati if they make it. Like, I mean, that's okay. That's my point.
I have. If you tell me 6. I'm okay with 6. 2 teams get a bye, and then the other teams battle it out. 8, you're pushing it.
You could tell me 64 and I'll sign up for
12. The problem is that like it's just like the bowl. Like then it's like, all right, what does the regular season matter anymore? Which is what used to. Which again, now you're going to dumb down that. I guess that's just my whole point. Now, if you made the regular season tougher. And you told me like, okay, we're going to use strength of schedule more into it. Like, you know, and so now I'm seeing Georgia. If Georgia goes undefeated, like that team right there was, it's not saying they're not legit now, but they played more than, they didn't get just your not Kentucky, who's the team? Vanderbilt's or the Missouris that they blew out. They had to go play that one-off team. Like they had to go play in Ohio State. And that was one of their that was 2 of their losses. But like when I see Georgia running through everybody, the last thing I want to see Georgia play is because it's going to be the 1 seed plays the 12 seed. That's what's fair. I don't want to see them destroy the Sisters of the Poor. Like on that, because they're not even being challenged on their way to the final.
I think if you look at maybe I'm letting my personal preferences cloud this team.
You're the one who just said, I can't give kids rings for turkey bowls.
No, I can't.
But what I'm saying is everybody don't deserve to be in the playoff. That's why you win your games. Win your damn games and you'll be in the playoff.
I look at every other thing that has a playoff. Division II has a playoff. West Florida lost this week.
Division II.
West Florida, who was probably the betting favorite, lost in the first round.
Here's why I agree with Division II, FCS, and all those other ones having playoffs. Bigger, more teams, spread out, completely different brands of ball that we really, really don't know about. We know what the Pac-12 is.
No,
you know what? Like what I'm saying is like,
but what if that's the reason? What if like all of a sudden,
like, if we really believe G5s?
No. Let's say all of a sudden this playoff goes to 12 teams, and now in homes right now, if you walk in and you go, "Hey, come here," because you're in compete for a playoff spot, and you're not Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, you get laughed out of the room. But now all of a sudden that recruiting pitch, you can be at USC, you can be at Oregon, you can be at Florida, you can be at Florida State, and you can say, look, we got a legit chance. You can be at UCF, you can be at Cincinnati, you can be all that. I think it spreads the wealth more.
I think it does for G5s, but I also think, well, actually, no, not anymore. Like in 2 years, it still won't matter. You know why? Because Cincinnati's going to the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
So now it takes away, and actually the conferences it's the way it is now gives incentive for conferences to become better. Like the Big 12, become better if you don't want to have, oh my God, if an SEC team with one loss is at the end of the season, are they going to bump us out?
Yeah.
You got better as a conference. The ACC, you need to get better as a conference if you want to be guaranteed a spot. Pac-12, stop playing your game so damn late. If you let everybody see it, if you want to.
Can I give you an example? Liberty extending Hugh Freeze. Cincinnati paying, I don't know what he makes, but I'm sure he's about to get a fat raise. Luke Fickell.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Even Michigan State, if you even want to go there, somebody who actually has made a playoff, given the contract that they just gave to Mel Tucker. These are all in preparation for this 12-team playoff. Liberty doesn't do that with Hugh Freeze. They don't give him close to $5 million a year at Liberty if they don't feel like he can take them to a spot that they've never been previously.
You know, I would normally agree with you. And the only reason I know this is because I know two people who are actually, like, believe it or not, they're Florida State fans. Like, that's their main school. They're Liberty graduates. Mm-hmm. And 3 years ago, actually, when Hugh Freeze got hired, everybody was telling them, hey, man, he's going to build him up in there. He's going to be gone. And their rallying cry was, no, he won't. They're like, it's like, y'all don't know how much money we actually have.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, they're like, no.
Just look at their weight room.
They were saying like, no, we want to win in football.
Their facilities, yeah.
Like, they're like, we ain't trying to just like play. Like, we want to win football games now. And when they said that, I was like, yeah, okay. Then I started seeing the way they're recruiting. Like, are they paying kids? I was like, are they doing this? And then I'm like, okay.
Hugh Freeze would never.
I don't know I don't even know where Liberty is. It's in North Carolina, right?
No.
Where is it? Virginia?
Virginia. Yeah.
North Carolina, Virginia, South. That's all the same. So Virginia, North Virginia, or South Virginia? Like Northern Beach.
Oh, I thought you thought there were two states.
No, like Northern Virginia. No, legitimately Northern Virginia, Southern Virginia, the beach. Like, I'm trying to figure out about their adult chicken wing establishments.
I don't know.
Because he was quick to call somebody.
Yeah, he's at a Christian school now. Maybe that
means it's worse. That means you got to go underground. He can't be seen. But my point is that Liberty, when they said that, I figure if Hugh Freeze won, they were going to make somebody have to really overpay and think if they want to go through the BS with Hugh Freeze again. Not BS that he's a bad person.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
Stuff.
Hey, get us to executive real quick. Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa. Make sure you get over there for, like, if you're just, I say this all the time, you don't have to go for a specific reason. You can go just because you don't feel right, just because, like, I'm 45, and at my age, like, I know I'm not 25, but if I feel like I'm 65, that's a problem. That can be fixed, right? And they can do that at Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa. They can get you taken care of. There's a variety of different things that could be going on with you that are fixable, that you don't have to live like that, like low testosterone or just a change in diet. And it doesn't even have to be to lose weight. Like, you have blood panels drawn, and they can tell you exactly what's going on. They can do that at Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa. If you've got issues in the bedroom, they can handle that as well right there. Get over there, tell them the sportsden sent you. And just a side note, because we're right next door to each other, noon on Saturday. Goodfellas off of St. John's Bluff. Meet us there. Watch party. Florida State. Did you decide how much?
I'm gonna say 15.
Why don't you? I don't understand why people do that. Just say 20, because you don't have to give change. Nobody carries
fair.
10s and 5s.
$20.
Yeah,
Fine.
because otherwise
Just
you gotta go to the bank.
Bring $20 and come. Like Cash App. Nobody carries cash anyway, so we will take Cash App.
Right.
We'll take all.
I just want to go to the bank.
Bitcoin, yen, whatever you have, pesos. But what's that? You need 1,000 pesos.
So any crypto?
Any? Yeah. Don't bring that Dogecoin crap. I don't want that. It's crap coin now. So
I'll take stock still.
No, I mean stock or the Dogecoin, because the Dogecoin you get that and it may not be worth $20 by the end of the game.
I'll take the risk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the risk. Yeah, get over there, hang out with us. Drinks, food, the whole nine. That price includes your first drink, right?
First drink, I got you.
First drink on the house if you get over to Goodfellas, and you are allowed to smoke cigars there.
Yep, but there is an area that you can be in that has no cigar smoke.
That's where you'll find me.
It has it's in the area, but like if you smell like, matter of fact, if you smell like cigars when it's done, I need to know, because then we need to add more. It's like literally like they call it a smoke eater that takes all the smoke out for people.
Oh, so you're saying I can sit in there and I won't smell like cigars?
In that area, no. It's 6 smoke eaters in literally like 200 square feet.
Okay.
If that.
All right. Well, good. I don't mind the smell. Sometimes it gives me like a migraine.
No, I get it. If you're not a smoker,
yeah,
I can see that.
I actually like the smell. It's just I'm that guy that goes to Bono's and I smell like Bono's for like 3 days.
Like I get it. I used to have a friend. Well, I guess I don't know. I don't even know how. Like you grow apart. It's not like I hate him or anything, but I've seen him recently. But he literally moved overseas to coach, and I had to tell him, I was like, man, be a man. He's like, we're going to the cigar lounge. My wife makes me take all my clothes off, and because I smell like smoke. It's like, man, you could be a man. Say, this is my house too.
I mean, you can take advantage of your wife making you take all your clothes off.
It's a lot of different ways to go about this, right? But none of them. Even there's not a scenario where I care.
Right.
So don't tell me that. You're either coming, we're smoking cigars, or we're not.
Right.
So, but anyways.
Right. Back to Thanksgiving real quick. Are y'all going to Coco?
Mm-mm.
Y'all have people coming here?
No, we're going to go to my boy Mario's house, which is, Mario's from New Orleans, a real deal New Orleans guy.
What is Mario white or black?
Mario's black.
Okay.
Former rapper.
Really?
High school coach. No.
How do you?
Very interesting story.
Are you a former rapper when people stop buying your stuff, or when you stop rapping?
Both.
Okay.
It's one of those. You kind of get retired. But he was with so Mario was with Master P when they first started.
Oh,
like his brother, and like he played college at UL.
Okay.
Louisiana Lafayette. ULL, excuse me. It was called something else then, but basically that's what
now it's UL. Yeah.
His brother was he was a producer more than he was a rapper. But anyways, he was with all that, and I used to think like he was joking until like he showed me like the receipts, and I was like, "Yo, you were really with P and those guys." And
so are you a former athlete when you stopped getting
checks?
No, I mean people have been athletes that didn't ever get a check.
Well, I mean they got their scholarship. I mean, when
nobody, you don't think athletes in high school are athletes?
Okay. Yes.
Like when are you a former? Right. Like if I am 35,
when it ends, you're a former athlete.
Well, if I'm 35 and I'm playing flag football on the weekends and working out every day,
you're not an athlete.
You're not an athlete anymore.
Warrior.
You're athletic.
You're athletic. You're not an athlete.
Gotcha.
You're
a former rapper. When? Because I'm sure he's still like he can still rap, right?
Probably, but professionally he's not rapping. Right now, professionally he's teaching.
What if somebody puts something on SoundCloud that nobody listens to? Are you a rapper?
No, it's like having I guess technically, like it's just like having a podcast that nobody pays attention to. Like, yeah, great. You recorded something, but nobody listens to it. Like, we are paid. Like, we're professionals. Okay. Once you get a check, you're considered a professional.
Okay.
We're not good, but we're considered professionals.
What about if you're a former singer that can still sing, but nobody's buying it? Like you see where I'm going with? Like, I'm trying to unblur the lines.
No, you're singing.
Is rap different than singing?
No,
They're a musician.
No, you're no
Are
longer
rappers musicians?
Yes, you're no longer an entertainer. That's really the bet.
But he's still a musician.
You can still be. He probably still possesses all the qualities and skills.
So rappers are musicians.
Yeah, I believe so. I think anybody who doesn't think that is being a curmudgeon.
So what if you rap at church on Sunday mornings? That's part of the praise band.
You're in the music ministry. That's what you are.
Okay.
You're not like entertainers, I believe, are professional. That's a profession. You're a professional.
Okay.
You're not making money.
All right, I got you.
If you're not making, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not making money doing it, it's a hobby. And there's nothing wrong with having a hobby. I just think people need to differentiate hobbies from
Gotcha. Okay.
What you act.
Okay, go ahead. So y'all are going over there.
I guess the ER.
What are
the
y'all
hard ER? We're going to go hard ERs.
What is the Coleman family contributing?
Alcohol, cups, and juice. That's what we were told. Listen,
you talk a big game about Thanksgiving. Y'all are just bringing drinks?
No, I talk a big. Not here's where because how this came about was Kelly's birthday party.
Okay,
so we weren't sure.
James' youngest son.
Yeah, we weren't sure what was going down. I almost got Thanksgiving brought back on, but Trey doesn't know the power he wields yet. Like everybody will say no to everybody else, but nobody's saying no to the first grandchild.
Right.
Even though he's not my aunt's grandchild, but Auntie Les loved me. She still does. But there's a younger James Coleman to love now. So like if Trey would have said, Auntie Les, I would really like to have Thanksgiving. I bet I'm more sure than FSU getting 10 points against Florida on Sunday that we would have had full Thanksgiving. So, but he didn't. So like they said,
Mom gonna be there?
No, Mom's staying in Tallahassee.
Sister's not gonna be there?
Sister's not gonna be there.
She's probably not happy with you right now after the last show.
I don't even know if she's heard it yet.
Okay.
Like the thing is that and I don't really care. My sister's the type of person that asks me for advice about podcasts, and I try to give it to her, and she tells me, "Oh no, I'm not." She tells me everything she's not gonna do, and I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna show you how to make money off of you.
So how many people will be at this?
I think it's just the Coleman and the Stevens families.
Oh, okay.
But I'm curious because Shelly is from New Orleans too. This is Mario's wife, and she says she can cook. But Shelly is a very like modern woman. Like
she's from New Orleans and says she can cook.
She's a high ranking attorney for a big transport company.
Okay.
She's the bread. She's the bread.
Moving bricks. Is that what that means?
No. She just makes sure when the bricks move.
Okay.
That it passes legal.
Okay.
And I just don't know because when they said, I said, "Oh man, your mama." Well, no, I forgot his mom. I said, "One of y'all moms is coming. Y'all gonna cook?" And she's like, "No, I'm gonna cook." And I'm like,
"You called her out like that?"
Nah, man. Listen, dog. When I eat New Orleans food, and this ain't nothing to do with Shelly, I'm gonna have to talk like them. Got nothing to do with her. I want an old black lady with that little flap over the elbow. That I think that's where the seasoning. Really? That's where the recipe. That's where the recipes are.
Oh, okay. With New Orleans food, that's what you want?
Man, New Orleans food is so rich.
Yeah, I got to take you to different New Orleans spots.
What New Orleans spot doesn't have rich, well-seasoned food?
No. But that you don't have to be a black lady.
Oh no. I'm just saying like they're black. What I'm saying like
I got you.
If they were white, I would want older.
You wanted her to be old and overweight.
Yeah, like I'm not one of those. Like, let me get this straight because some people don't, may not understand our banter back and forth. Okay. I don't know what it's like to be white. I was raised black. Sorry. I don't even know what it's like to be Hispanic. I'm learning that.
Okay.
But I do know what I see on the Food Network. If I get Emerald Lagasse, I want Emerald's food. The fat racist lady in Savannah, I can't think of her name, that had like the slave wedding theme. Anyways, I can't. Paula Dean.
Paula Dean.
If Paula Dean's, I don't care how racist she is.
She can cook.
Paula Dean cooking. I want some of Paula Dean's food. Like I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna eat that racist.
You
food.
Can separate the sins from the talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really good at that. So, but again, she said I'm anxious because one thing I've always said. Somebody reminded me. You can kind of get away with it on Christmas because Christmas is really about the gifts and the fellowship with the family and stuff with the kids. The food is there. You want to eat good, but it's not the only spotlight.
Right.
There are no gifts given at Thanksgiving. The only thing at Thanksgiving that you have is the food. And it's all eyes on the food, baby.
That's fair.
Because this isn't just for about Thursday. This is about Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
So if it's not good on Thursday, what the hell am I eating on Friday and Saturday?
See, I'm so the wrong person with this.
Like, you don't eat the leftovers?
I mean, depends what the food is. If it's turkey, no.
But okay, so a ham, some good stuffing. I don't know if you don't eat turkey, maybe you don't eat stuffing. I don't really, or dressing. Whatever.
Dude, I so don't care about Thanksgiving food.
Listen, ham, like things I don't play about: macaroni and cheese.
Yeah,
like I saw some these woke. I hate this. I'm almost becoming like JJ. This wokeism era is trying to ruin everything. I see these big, girthy African American guys that already grown up. This? Nah, but I'm just saying before I was woke before woke was cool, and then I got tired and I went back to sleep. So like when I'm seeing a lot of this stuff, I've already seen this like 7 years ago, and like I found out that it's full of crap already. And they're just, anyways. My point is this: people are around here bashing macaroni and cheese. The hell is wrong with you people? Well, your mama did. People who tell me they don't like mac and cheese are telling me that no woman in their family can cook without telling me that no woman in their family can cook. Like
you're a terrorist. Like you don't need to be in this country
NBA,
unless you have a cheese allergy. And then like I'm not judging you, but
then you were born that way.
If you don't have a medical reason why you don't like mac and cheese, then
it was some NFL player, and I said that's why we don't know who the hell you are. He put up there, we're going to be honest with you, mac and cheese is really not. Man, get out of here, dude. Just because all you know is stovetop. And even then, kids like that. I like mine baked. My preference with a lot of cheese.
There's not a mac and cheese I don't like.
Like, my thing is,
I like the blue box. Yeah, if you put the right amount of milk.
Okay.
But you know what? I don't, that's important.
I don't judge people for that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I do judge you if you don't like mac and cheese, unless like you're lactose retarded or whatever it is called. The point is, like, it's just that you're allergic to your body can't handle whatever it's called. My point is don't play about my mac and cheese. Wow. Don't play about my greens, because that's the only time I eat.
We got to start pre-recording this show.
This is why you told people I was fired.
Wow. What I mean,
what is the proper? I apologize if I said
lactose intolerant.
Okay, I'm not intolerant to learn. I didn't know the proper way.
So you went
now
straight.
I know lactose intolerant.
That?
That's what I thought it was.
I mean, that's literally like the equivalent of if I was like trying to describe you and black didn't come out.
That's what that is.
Yes.
So that's a hard ER.
Yes.
Oh man, that's tough. I apologize about that. I have lactose intolerant friends. If that helps you. Does that help? I'm probably technically, because I don't drink milk like that. That's probably why my stomach gets messed up when I eat heavy. But you know what helps? Drinking. Every time my stomach hurts and I drink, it feels better.
I think it's important for us to get to Green Acres right now. Black Friday.
Yep.
Black Friday.
Hard ER.
Bro, if somebody called it that.
I was going to do it, but the only voice I could do to think of that is Pops, and I don't want anybody to think bad about Pops, because Pops is my guy.
Oh no, it's been decades since Pop said that.
I believe it. That's one thing. Don't normalize using it, but let's normalize like people. It was the 40s, 50s, and 60s, man. Like,
oh no, dog. Like, no, it was no.
No, it's the 70s, 80s, whatever.
80s, yeah.
But here's my point.
I would go like 92, 93. Right.
Like, my point is this: like this. When people say, "Oh, that racism was so," or that that dog, come on, no, your grandmother used it, bro. I know. She probably has the porn too, where they have the hard ER in it too.
Wait, what? Wait, grandma. If you are over the age of,
what I'm saying is,
if you're over the age of 30, 35, you don't even have to go down a generation. You probably used it at some point,
or at least like it's You've listened to rap and you've said it in your head, so I know you know.
Yes.
My point in that
we're in the South, bro.
Is that like stop trying to mask it? Don't use it now. You've grown.
From Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas.
You've grown. Chill out. Like stop trying to mask it. Own it. Just don't do it again.
I mean, we live in a city where every other neighborhood is named the Plantation.
That part.
So, but anyway, get to Green Acres for Black Friday. Now I can't even say Black Friday.
In a couple of years,
what are we going to call it?
I don't know, man. Like,
Friday after Thanksgiving.
It's gonna become like football. But anyways, Green Acres is our hate o'clock, so we might as well just go all the way with the hate. In a couple of years, it's gonna get they're gonna get too offended that it's going to literally reverse the pendulum. And it's going to be to where people are just saying, you know what? If you're going to get mad,
you know what?
I'm going to say whatever I want to say.
You know what? No,
I'm going to feel like if I'm going to lose.
And you're not talking about specifically about race. You're talking about in general.
No, in general.
No, I think you're right on that.
Like it's this.
I think you're already seeing
this one TikTok YouTube comedian. I can't think of his name, but he looks like a dork. But then he gives like this stare and he plays this music.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And like, he goes, he does a, and I'm not going to do the joke because I already know that's the only group I'm afraid of is the alphabets, the consonants. Like I don't got no problems with y'all, no quarrels or whatever, but I am confused because I'm seeing it in emails too, like their name and she, them, or like you got to like them, they, like I'm trying to learn, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
And the guy was just like,
"There's a grace period."
He was like, the person was saying, I want to be identified as them. And he was like, oh, okay. Well, for you, the chicken deal is $9, but for them, it's $18. And it's like, I think you're being, so they keep going like on and on about that. He's like, but all that being said is like eventually he pushes the envelope. I thought he was going to get canceled once he did that. And he's only gone worse.
Well, but regardless of who you are, you can go to Green Acres and get an AR-15, an AR-12. You can get a Taurus 9mm. You can get whatever you want to get at Green Acres.
Them, they, us,
you,
whatever. First Amendment rights are important.
Yes.
Not First Amendment rights are important. Yes. The Second Amendment rights protect our First Amendment rights.
And maybe you just want to go hunting. Then Green Acres is where you go to greenacresporting.com for all your hunting and fishing needs. What did somebody ask us yesterday if they had? Somebody asked us if they had something. Safes.
Safes. He's not captain anymore. Man, wow, he's almost lieutenant colonel. So Major Seidel.
Yeah.
Asked me the most, and this is why I love it. You're not gonna ain't no other shows doing this shit for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like people ask me about cigars. You know what?
Text us.
Anybody else would be like, well, you need to go to the website. Like, no, you know what? No, I'm gonna make you. Are you gonna buy from the humidor? I'm gonna make sure we get. Mm-hmm. So he asked me a very specific question.
Very specific.
That I have no idea. That he asked me.
He asked a couple of very specific.
He asked me. Like I know.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I have a 20-year-old duck hunting rifle, and I need what was it? He said, I need 7mm Remington short mag ammo. Do you think they have it at Green Acres? Nobody has it. He's like, and nobody has it.
So I'm going to go buy a new rifle is what he said.
Do they have it at Green Acres? I said, bro, what the hell is that? So I can ask. Say, but do they have safes? But I don't want just any safe.
Right.
Safe has to be made in America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust that commie mess.
Mm-hmm.
No, he didn't say that part. He didn't say that part, but he did say he doesn't want anything.
That's the way I took it.
Yeah, he wants it made in America because he doesn't trust.
I don't want no Chinese safe.
He did. Actually, no, he did say, I don't want no Chinaman safe.
Yeah.
He did say that. But, so I text Z.
Probably shouldn't have given his name before we did all that, but go ahead.
They'll be all right. And they're not listening. That's fair. Now that I think about it, we'll go back and delete.
It's a different person. It's a different person. Two different people we talked to.
Well, Z had just texted me about 12 gauge shotguns. Mm-hmm. You get $179 one or a $299 one. The one I shot is $299. And he says, yes, we have the safes.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are made here. They're more expensive, but he knows that. That's what he says. And then he says, of course, got 7mm short mag ammo.
Who do you think we are?
We have all the ammo. That's why it's so expensive. If people talk about it. We go out, but seriously though, he does, and this is the longest commercial ever. He does go out and make sure that they have ammo, so they buy it. They may buy it more expensive so that they can have it to sell. So that's the answer.
So I wanted to hit the clock a little different because it's Thanksgiving. I was asked earlier, I had to go by the radio station earlier, and one of the questions at the radio station is, what are you most thankful for the Jags? And so my initial response was that there's only 7 games left, right? Like that it's almost done. But the reality is, and I did say that on air.
That's great.
The reality, though, of it is, after I thought about it, we do make fun of the Jags, and they should be made fun of. Like what's going on down there should not be tolerated by any city, much less Jacksonville. But with all that being said, when you think about the effect that the Jags, and I'm going to talk about me specifically, but there's probably a lot of people listening that are in the same boat. The relationships that I've made because the Jags are here. Right. When you think about like even just career trajectory, I don't know that we have this show if the Jags aren't here, if we didn't start off at the official station of the Jags. I don't know. I don't know if we have that, but all of the different like media, if we want to go media, the media spinoffs, I had to Dunn and Drew last night, our Bold City guys, like dope relationships that we never would have met these people if it weren't for the Jags. Random people that, a lot of you that go to the Jags games and you've met people around your seats and you've become, lifelong friends now because they've been around for 27 years. Or, in my case, like I've got a really good relationship with a bunch of the current and past players that I can point to and go, okay, those are major parts of my life right now. That if I lived in a city that didn't have an NFL team, regardless of how bad they are, my life would look much, much differently than it does right now. And I think that there's people in Jacksonville that when you take stock of the number of times that you've brought your 10-year-old or 9-year-old or 8-year-old to a game, the memories you've made there, or the number of times that your Christmas gift was a Byron Leftwich jersey or a Miles Jack jersey or whatever it is, the number of times that you've had a memory that circles around the NFL team in the city that you have, I think if you really take a deep breath and you think about that, it's pretty impactful.
Yeah. That's why I think, I love guys like Nate Monroe, follow him. I didn't know he existed until Mayor Curry was on our show.
The Lot J stuff.
Which is like, I think he's really good at his job. And I understand where he has to write for the people.
Mm-hmm.
And the vast majority of people in the city of Jacksonville don't really care about the Jags like that, like offhand, like the true day-to-day things,
right? That
like Jaguars, all they know is that they're not winning, but when they win, it makes them more proud. But nothing gives the city of Jacksonville more publicity than the Jacksonville Jaguars, right, wrong, or indifferent. It brings businesses here. It brings growth, which brings growth. As the NFL grows in popularity and brand, so does the city of Jacksonville. The one thing when people complain about Shad Khan consistently going overseas to London and playing the game, that also, now granted, some of the pictures they put up, Jacksonville don't look like that. It looks more like Miami. But if you probably went over to London, they know about Jacksonville due to that, which is more than anything else our city has done.
London and Jacksonville are tied together,
right? So but before
it's
this,
wild, actually,
before they started doing this game, you ask a European, New York, LA, they'll probably bring Miami because what people in Miami don't realize is that's still relatively new, like 50s and 60s, and really the 80s when with drugs was really what pushed everything Miami to what Miami is. And they made Atlanta because it's a major airport hub, but now Jacksonville is being mentioned in those circles due to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I came here because of sports, but because the Jags help make sports bigger and developing those relationships. So, and I'll say the last 6 years, definitely the Jaguars has probably propelled the career because, again, being on the official station of the Jaguars and and being honest, which I've learned, honesty without an agenda is the best policy. Like, if you're not like, you don't critique the Jags just to critique the
Right.
Jags, like NFL,
Not for content,
like ESPN and all these other people. Like, nah, they're really bad. And we also like second this stuff because, like, you know, we got young kids and we weave a lot of personal experiences into it. But fans also have gravitated toward that because it's so contrary to what they're hearing on the official stations of the Jags or the news or this, where everybody feels like you got to kiss ass to be able to be accepted. One thing I found is the more truth I tell, no matter how brutally honest it is, if again, as long as it doesn't have an agenda and it's not personal, I'm accepted into those areas. So think about how many like Jag players listen to our show. Coaches listen to our show because we're not there just saying, oh my God, you're a Jags player. Can I have your autograph? Whoa, like you're the greatest. Like I'm on no. And that's why fans look. I think when we weren't on, that's what fans miss the most because all day long for the last 6 years, you've been fed, we're going to win a Super Bowl. And only one person's like, no, but here's why we're not. Right. And here's what we should do. And even though they never listen, but the point is, but yeah, definitely, I'll be grateful for the Jags for nothing more than content.
Well, I mean, if I look at my non-family relationships that are active, like you mentioned, old friends, I'm not talking about that. Like active relationships, almost every single one that I look at is in some way shaped, influenced by the NFL being in Jacksonville. Like that's the reality of it. And, you know, there's people listening and they're like, well, all the Jags are good for is to make me mad on Sundays. Well, that's my point. Because if they weren't here, you wouldn't be passionate about something. Like it would be something else, or it would be, you know, a team that didn't upset you. And, you know, if it's just like anything else, like if you've got a best friend or a spouse, whatever, when they do something wrong, doesn't upset you, then you're apathetic. And that's not a great relationship. Like, and so I think, you know, just thinking about this, and I was trying to think of a Thanksgiving theme to this thing. They still need to win, and they're still a pathetic franchise, and they're still dysfunctional, but they're ours. And it has a direct correlation on a lot of people's livelihood in Jacksonville, even if you don't work in sports like we both do. Like you can probably find a way that your career has been supported in some way or advanced by the Jags being in Jacksonville, by an NFL team being in Jacksonville. So saying, just think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, that was nice. That was cute.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you really can't like anything outside of that would be kind of a dick move for during Thanksgiving right now. So
I was just trying not to.
I was angry, but like now I don't know if like, you know, now that you've given this true heartfelt appreciation post. No. I hate people in Mercedes that can't back in. No. And
just in Mercedes
and the bank. No, it's just all right. Listen, if you're gonna back in, commit to it. There's cameras now. It's not like it used to be where you had like when you had to be good and have depth perception. Like now, there's like an alert that literally beeps when you get within. You don't even too long.
Move your head back like this anymore,
right?
Like
you're literally looking at a screen,
right?
And
that usually has lines that shows you where you're going.
And to their defense, it's probably my fault for not backing in. But I parked my truck.
Don't you do that? No, don't you do that? Don't you blame yourself?
No, I was going to go into
like a regular person.
I parked in the takeout thing because I ordered my food before I wanted to eat home, and this person parked their Mercedes literally in the parking spot right behind Griselda, my big F-150, and they didn't back all the way into the parking spot. Like half of the front of their Mercedes was in the road. So I'm just like, all right, man. All right, whatever. I'm going to make this. This is easy. Whatever. We're going to try to back out of this. Except for it's really difficult when they're right behind you.
Yeah.
And I can't, and there's two cars to your left and your right. So like, I can't just turn the wheel because then I'm going to hit these cars right here. Your car, like if I were a jerk and I had more money, the things that I would do. And this is why God hasn't blessed me to be a billionaire.
A billionaire, he says. Okay.
Because
Not even a millionaire. Just
I
a
am
billionaire.
going to adjust the Mercedes for this person. If the petty in me could afford it, I would have backed up and pushed the Mercedes into his rightful parking spot.
The day before Thanksgiving, you'd have done this.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about it being the day before Thanksgiving. I was thinking about I wanted my damn chicken and waffles, and I didn't want to have to sit. Because here's what's happening. Nobody's looking at the Mercedes halfway in the damn road. They're looking at the big black guy with dreads in the redneck truck that's sitting there having to adjust the truck five times to pull out of the. Do you know how unmasculine I felt? Like, yeah, I'm sitting here like, holy crap! Like, this looks really bad. Like, I look little kids are looking at me like, Mom, is that what you say when you say you don't like no unmasculine man? Like, they're like pointing at me, and I'm like, it's not me. It's whoever this Mercedes driving person.
This makes me think we should definitely do a "What Would Pops Do" segment, because I'd love to know what he would have done in that scenario.
Like, one of the reasons why I used to want to have a really large family, but I'm glad because I don't really know how I'm gonna feed these two mutants. Coming up. I have one that can eat a whole pizza, and one that just drinks gallons and gallons of milk. I wanted, like, because they did this to Greg Jones's Camry in college, like, to get under Greg's skin. Like, 4 linemen literally just
moved it,
picked this car up.
Yeah,
everybody was on one side of it, lifted it up, and put it behind the trash can. And Greg didn't know where his Camry was for a while.
Funny, actually.
So, like, literally just walk over there, pick it up, or pull it all the way out, so it's in the street. Or just or use it for good. And then right now they're not strong enough.
I just don't like the people who back into spots when 2 spots over was a pull-through spot where you could have just
drove. Yeah.
I don't like the people who back into spots and hold me up from just parking like a regular person. I will say this: Jeeps are amazing for parking. Super easy to park. Much easier than the big truck.
Really?
Yeah. Much easier. I don't know if they're shorter. I don't know why the reason, but it's like I can pull in the garage with no problem. Where with the truck, it would have taken me 10 minutes to park every night. So maybe you just need to change your car. Maybe you should get a Mercedes.
No, I won't get a Mercedes.
What's your dream? What is your dream car?
I don't really.
I don't either. I don't have one either.
I mean, like, I wanted a Range Rover, but
now everybody has one.
Well, not just that. They use 93 petrol. And I just can't see myself.
Yeah.
Like, I already feed this truck way too much money.
I don't really have a dream car either, man. Like,
like, what I want is, like, I've never been the guy because if I have to get a Lambo, I got to get better at driving a stick. So I don't want to do that. I'm not going to be the guy. I'm not going to be the guy to get one of those cars and then try to convert it to automatically, because it's just.
If somebody gave me a Lambo, I would sell
it. I never wanted to, like, I like trucks. I like big SUVs. I just want a car that gets me from that nice enough car that gets me from point A to point B. I guess somebody would have to, like, tell me. What I like is I like my house. That's where I'm at. I only go out, like, when we go to Goodfellas, when we're doing events or stuff like that. That's when I really go out. People think I do it more than I do it. I don't. I really like me at home. I like my TV. I used to really want surround sound, but I don't even like listening to TV that loud anymore. I like what I like.
This is our cue, by the way. Both lights have gone out.
I like cigars. If I didn't, that's what I like. And the cigars and shoes right now. And you're away from the shoe game.
Yeah, I am.
So,
although there were some dope black Jordan golf shoes that came out yesterday.
I do want. We gotta go play golf again.
I know we do. Make sure you get to the Humidor this weekend. You're gonna be sitting at home. Go to thehumidor.com. Order your cigars. They'll be delivered right to your house. You type in sportsden, all lowercase, all one word, and you get 20% off of that purchase. Sportsden, one word, all lowercase, at thehumidor.com. We good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Are we doing this Friday?
Sure.
No, we're not, because I'm gonna be out of town.
You're leaving that early? I thought you were leaving till you're leaving Friday.
We have a family thing in Live Oak.
Oh yeah.
That we have to go to Friday morning.
Speaking of which, not that. I know we got to go. Like, for anybody who's listening, like, those jokers, like, you could tell he's never played in a rivalry. Like, when I was talking to Kenny Dillingham, I didn't realize, I forgot they had never played in this game before. Yeah. You know how I really know they never played in this game? Them jokers are staying in Gainesville.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, when I saw, because they every Friday night they do like the Seminole like former player talk. They're like, you know, this is one where we really need people. Like if you happen to be in Gainesville, and
I wouldn't have put that out.
Oh my God,
if I were you.
Like whatever, man. If you're gonna do something, you would have done it. Like
you would have found a way anyway.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the people
I'm
who
not
live
going.
there.
I mean, I'm not going to the game. Obviously, I'm going.
No,
to
I was just when you just said that, just made me think like somebody really legit text me and asked me if I was going to Gainesville. So I'm not going on Saturday. Why the hell would I go Friday?
No, I'm good. But hopefully, all of you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Stay safe. Have fun with the family. Be thankful. Like just even if it's just for a day, be thankful. We will talk to you guys on Monday. See you.